What's up, people? Wait for some people to join. See if anybody's around. Just Drive Time Shaman videos. On a live feed right now. Going through the mountains. Whoa. Who's with me? Anybody with me yet? What's up, peoples? Good morning. It's Rod checking in. Drive Time Shaman video. I'm gonna have a busy day today, so I have a lot to bring up today. A lot. Good morning, everybody. It's pretty beautiful out. It's like 40-something degrees too here in New York. Greetings, everybody. Dawn, who's that? Dawn, Ken. What's up? It's the Drive Time Shaman morning videos live feed. And guys, I have amulets for sale. Anybody who wants to donate in the chat room, we can work out an amulet. Greetings. I'm going to be actually carrying these too. These are special custom spiral copper tensors that I'm beaming with a frequency generator and making them like extra powerful. So the only one in the world that you can get that from in this specific way. So you guys are gonna really love that. So you can find that at themysticalspiral.com really soon. And in fact, my amulets are pretty much available now. I just haven't posted any pictures online yet. But good morning, everybody in the chat. So I got a lot of shit we need to talk about because not only does this tie in a lot of research and experiences that I've had and stuff that's in my genetic memory, stuff that I've been talking about for years, but the best thing about it is more is being unveiled constantly about these topics, and that's the ancient walnut trees of Italy and the obelisks of Italy. And one might not think these two subjects are related, but I've come to find out that they're related in a way that's going to blow your guys' minds. And I've been cracking a lot of codes of what's going on with the Vatican, I think, and I'm designing a little booklet that I'm going to get published called The 13 of Rome. I'm going to try to do two of them, The 13 of Rome, and another one, the walnuts and obelisks of Benevento. Now, let me first describe to you guys what I've been really up to too. I've been doing psychic viewings of some of these ancient locations, and the information that I've been pulling in is just astounding. Not only do I already have genetic lineage and history within my DNA of these events and these locations, but I've been researching it and thinking about it and going over it for on and off for a very long time, and more gets revealed to me. The harder the more work I put into it, more gets revealed, and it's very, very interesting. But there's been 13 obelisks in Rome strategically placed from ancient Egypt. Now, I believe that these obelisks, I'm going to prove this one day somehow too. They are broadcasting a transmission. I believe they are connected to certain stars as well, but they're towers, and they're linked, and they're broadcasting a transmission of the apocalypse. They're broadcasting the dark ones, and they're waiting to come inhabit the church and the Vatican. and they're basically programming society. Damn, there's mad troopers out too right now. Programming society with these obelisks within Rome. And they've hijacked the energy, put crosses on all of them. Most of them. The ones in Benevento, I don't think have crosses on them. Maybe one of them does. But there's two main ones I want to talk about right now. Because these ancient obelisks are not just monuments. They're not just monuments with hieroglyphics telling a story. They are technology of the ancients. And it's interesting because two of these obelisks are linked to the walnut trees. And both of these walnut trees, now in legend, there's actually about 13 ancient walnut trees that were in Italy that were linked to other dimensional gateways, and the church and people related to the church and things like that, of course, portrayed as a portal to hell, and at the very leaves are infested by devils. Now these leaves are 9-pointed leaves and supposedly connect to the 9 fate gods. And two walnut trees specifically, one in Benevento and one in Rome, that stood above the tomb of Nero, are the ones that I'm really interested right now in and want to talk about. Because both of these spots that had these ancient walnut trees, these walnut trees were used to lock down these ancient dark ones in a sort of other realm prison. Now the witches, the shaman, whatever you want to call them, the local witches of that area, locked down these evil spirits within another layer of this reality beneath the walnut tree. And the walnut tree's very existence was keeping these dark ones entombed and in a stasis and asleep within these walnut trees. Now, the first one we could talk about real quick, I've mentioned it before, is the one in Benevento. Now, the Piazza del Popolo, which means like the Plaza of the People, or I know it's not that. That's in the one in Rome. The one in Benevento that was cut down is now where the Santa Sofia di Volto is, which is like in Benevento, this walnut tree was cut down by this guy Saint Barbatos, who was infected by the Dark Ones. He was like a bishop of Benevento at the time, and he was infected by disembodied spirits of the Rephaim, the Dark Ones. They were plaguing his mind, and he knew that other Dark Ones were encased within this walnut tree, and if he chopped this thing down and got it cut down, he would inhabit and release these evil spirits that were locked within another reality and this technology with this walnut tree. So Saint Barbatos had this walnut tree cut down. He built first he built a chalice out of the golden viper that Romulad was worshiping. The Duke of Benevento, Romulad, they were worshiping in that town at the time a golden viper. And so he went and took their relic, melted it down, made a chalice out of it. Then he cut down the ancient walnut tree and made a church on that spot, and actually used the wood of the walnut tree to make pews within the church and make himself a staff. So they pulled the roots right out of the ground of this ancient walnut tree and released the dark ones that were encased in another reality within it. And on that spot they built Santa Sofia, or it was originally I think called the Santa Maria di Volto. And in Italian, di volto means like someone who dies without being baptized, devoto. So Santa Sofia or Santa Maria Devoto is like Saint Maria that died without being baptized. Very interesting name for a church to be on the spot of a walnut tree. So where that church is today is where that walnut tree once stood. Now, there's another very similar story that I've been researching and thinking about, and I've pulled in a lot more information than what's offered to the public, is that Emperor Nero, the mad Emperor Nero, was infected with disembodied spirits of the Rephaim, these dark ones as well. And he was a mad emperor. He was infected with this evil mind virus. And when he died, he was put in a tomb beneath the roots of the walnut tree in Rome, where the Piazza di Popolo is now. This is a huge plaza where 3 churches stand. One of them is the Santa Maria di Popolo, and there's 2 other ones too. I forget the names of the other 2, but they put an obelisk right on the spot outside of the Santa Sofia Church in Benevento, and they have an obelisk, an ancient Egyptian obelisk, right on the spot of where Nero's grave was, and the plaza is there. So these portals to another reality that contained these dark ones, another reality, they hijacked that energy and tapped into the frequency of it with these obelisks right where the walnut tree, what the walnut tree was doing, they replaced that with obelisk and hijacked that frequency, and they are broadcasting those transmissions to the public, the ones converted, the ones that are going to be inhabiting the new consciousness of these ancient ones. The dark ones are going to be inhabiting the people of today, these new vessels of humanity. And I know it's pretty, it would make a great story or video game or something, but it's reality. This is true fact. Look it up. Pope Paschal II was the one who cut down, Pope Paschal II was the one who cut down the walnut tree at the Plaza di Popolo, and at that time, screaming devils came out of the roots. And when he pulled the roots out of the ground, he found the remains of Nero's tomb. And at that time, he supernaturally transformed himself and took on the dark ones of Nero. This is like some of the most amazing information that you can find. And I have all of this on my Patreon. I've been starting to post. These obelisks are literally broadcasting the apocalypse. They've been hijacked. Some of them are even called the Obelisk of Mary. And you know, when Pope Paschal II, or Paschal, whatever you want to say, when he found Nero's body, he ended up throwing it into the Tiber River, the eternal Tiber, or, you know, and this is an ancient mystical river. And from what I've been viewing, these walnut trees that were cut down, the witches and shaman of that area were actually doing a good deed by keeping the rituals going of that walnut tree. Mostly they forgot what those rituals were even, what they were even doing, some of the families, until they was awakened within their genetic memory. But they were continuing these rituals around these walnut trees, not realizing how important it actually was. how intense it actually was, what they were actually keeping within. So yeah, there's 13 of these in Rome, and there's a few in Benevento. But the two main ones that literally had the site of the walnut tree is really interesting, because they hijacked that dimensional gateway. Everybody in the chat right now. So, guys, I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, and Spiral out.